Today I'm going to be reviewing Super Mario 64, a game that I spent $10 on when I could have just played a better version for free. So should I have pirated the game instead of buying the 3D All-Stars collection? Let's find out. So the game starts off with Peach sending you a letter about how she baked a cake and she wants you to go over to the castle. You then jump out of a pipe and go to the bridge where you meet Lakitu. For most 3D games nowadays, the 3D camera is nothing at all, and you can fully move it 360 degrees. But in Super Mario 64, the devs decided to make it so that Lakitu would be the cameraman, and you can only move it in specific parts where it would allow you to move it. Once you walk into the castle, you have to go through a bunch of paintings which take you to different levels and collect stars, the game's collectibles. You need 70 stars to beat the game, but you would also need 8 stars to fight Bowser the first time, and 30 for the second fight. The story is pretty simple and short, but it gets the job done. It isn't overly long and annoying, but there still is something that you're working towards. Next, I should bring up the music, something I forgot about in the last video. Sorry. The game has really good music, but that's a given since Koji Kondo is an incredible composer. Songs like Bob on Battlefield, Inside the Castle Walls, and Snow Mountain are great, and Piranha Plant's Lullaby is the best Super Mario 64 song ever. Let me play a piece. There's this one version of the song where someone put the song Dilemma over it, and it slaps. I'll link the song in the description, because it is really good. But just because the game has a good soundtrack and story, doesn't mean it's a good game unless the gameplay and levels are good too. Have you ever played Sonic R? Great soundtrack and a nice plot, but the gameplay and levels suck. Luckily though, Super Mario 64's gameplay is incredible. When it comes to movement, Nintendo has got it down to a crisp, even almost 25 years ago. Running and jumping as Mario feels great, and hitting that BLJ to make it to Bowser, it feels amazing. One bad thing is that since the camera controls are weird and kind of bad, it can sometimes make the gameplay feel worse and or make it more clunky, but overall the movement options are still really good. All the movement options in this game makes it a lot of fun to play and makes you want to 100% the game, or at least it made me want to. It took a while and was pretty hard because I also had drift at the time, but I was still having a lot of fun all throughout. But it wasn't just the gameplay that kept me going, it was the levels too. All of the levels were fun to play, and with the exception of Rainbow Ride, all the levels were easy to traverse. I was rarely upset with the game because it was difficult, even whilst I was 100%ing the game. Again, with the exception of Rainbow Ride. Lastly, I just want to talk about all of the boss fights, totally not because of the fact that I spent half an hour doing the fights, just because I want to. The Bowser fights are fun, but also difficult. I don't know if they're actually difficult or if the delay on my recording system makes them difficult, but it's still fun. Also, in the final Bowser fight area, before you fight him, there's a 1-up that makes the whole thing a lot more bearable, because even if you lose 100 times, at least you won't have to redo the whole third Bowser fight level, but don't tell anyone else because this is a secret, okay? Anyways, the first fight gives you an idea of the difficulty to come, but it's still easy enough to make it fun. You only have to throw Bowser into one bomb, and then he's down for the count. The second fight mixes it up a bit and makes it so that Bowser will jump very high up in the air sometimes, and make the whole area you are walking on unbalanced and slope down to try to move you off, then wobble its way back to being balanced again. That makes the fight more challenging, but you still only have to throw him into one bomb. The third and final fight removes the wobbly stage hazard and replaces it with some pieces of the floor falling whenever Bowser gets hit by a bomb, and then proceeds to bounce up and fall down. Along with that, you now have to throw him into the bomb 3 different times instead of just once. That, along with falling pieces, makes this fight the hardest of the 3, though it's still manageable. I personally think the Bowser fights are pretty good, since they're fun and challenging, so I think that they're a good addition to the game, and make it more fun overall. So, after all this, what's my rating of the game? Well, I personally think that it's a really good game, and even though there are some flaws here and there, like how the camera controls are clunky, the game was literally made almost 25 years ago. Did you really think it would be perfect? I would personally recommend the game to everyone, but you can't buy it on Switch anymore, so I guess check eBay? The game is $1,500 on eBay, so I guess buy an actual N64 and a copy of Super Mario 64 if you want to experience the game legally for a cheaper price. Thanks for watching, it really means a lot. Comment anything if you could to help YouTube recommend this video to more people. Like if you enjoyed the video, dislike if you think it's a bad video, subscribe if you want, it's totally up to you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!